We are live again, babies. We are back in action. We've taken a very long walk. So we're now back down by turn 1. I wanted to get some heavy braking action. Here the car's at full whack. Have we missed anything? We will. We'll make sure of that. That's for sure. Here comes the Ferrari. I think as the Ferrari's paint job is so thin and it's that matte colour, that's why we're getting that sort of orange sort of effect to it. Got Racing Point coming down into turn 1. Never, Mike. Never, never, never. We were just letting the batteries recharge, personally and technically, before we got back in the action. So one thing I've noticed as I've been taking a closer look at the cars as I walk around is the front wings. The main concept that we've got is a very raised inner profile by the nose cone itself, and then as it gets towards the more, what do we call it, the end plates, it does taper off. Saying that, apart from Mercedes seem to have quite a strong front wing all the way through. So Christian Horner being very complimentary again about the Honda power unit and very damning of Williams and their failure to literally arrive. Failure of that. So we've got a Renault just coming out of the pits. You're going to notice a lot of teams being very, very tiptoeing when they come out of the pits due to them lack of rear temperature in the tyres. Comes the Toro Rosso. Albon pumping in some solid laps after his spin of 4 corners into his testing debut here at Catalonia. Yeah, glad you liked the spot, mate. That's why it took me so long. It took a very long time to get from where we was all the way around here. Fittipaldi. Is that right? Short shift there from Charles through that corner. Very reminiscent of Green Mike. Renault taking a bit of an inside curve there. Hulkenberg, apparently Hulkenberg's running a complete race distance. Got 2 cars in tandem here. Now for running rather slowly now, maybe getting a bit of space. According to Haas Twitter, yeah, we're back in business, baby. Never gonna leave you as long as there's life in my battery. and life in the data. We'll be here. It'll be a shame that we're not here for the rest of the week. Although saying that, I'll probably need about 50 gigs just to keep us going. Definitely going to get an extra battery pack for next year. Lock up there and off track goes Bottas. Oh, ran across one of the sausages there. Picks up a lot of dirt on his tyres. He's going to drag that back onto the racing line just in time for Leclerc to follow him around. Sounds like he got past okay. Got quite a big breeze now. It's a bit of a tailwind coming into turn 1. So watch out for that, how it's affecting the cars. Saying that, it's a bit more of a side wind actually, in actual fact. It's a good thing about flags flying. Laura's moderating. She's doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job, lady. Now we're looking for battery now. We've got 85%. Hopefully that will see us through. In the remaining... What time did it finish yesterday? 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
6 o'clock. So we've got an hour and a half to get through. Valtteri box? No, he's still out. Still must be happy with the car. No drama this time. So yeah, like I was saying, Hulkenberg's doing a full race simulation this afternoon. So expect him to bank a good 70 or so laps. Next up is the Toro Rosso. I've heard about them. I didn't know if they was that good or not. I don't know if anyone's used one. If you think they're any good. Oh, happy days. Clouds have parted now. Still got a breeze, so I do have a few goosebumps. Did you share it again, my dear? Fantastic job. Give me a thumbs up. Good job. You can take over camera duty in a little while because they prefer your work. You've got the touch of a lady as opposed to a rigid guy. Okay. Ferrari, slow running Ferrari here. He's just let Bottas run through. Hesitant on the power. Very nice of Charles there to let them faster boys go through. Faster in terms of lap speed, not overall pace, I must say. Toro Rosso looking strong, plenty of laps under the belt. So an interesting point that Christian Horner I was just reading about. Apparently, they can't share data between Toro Rosso and the Red Bull team during the tests. Cheers, mate. Right in the... However, apparently it's a great pool of data for Honda to share. So that's the main thing. Someone's gone off. Straight over there, Toro Rosso. So it's all going well for Albon, and he's put it in the gravel. So expect to see potentially the session aborted. We'll keep you updated. Please have a look on the live feeds from media outlets. The marshals. They've not put any kind of flags out. Maybe it's just a caution. So, how is Albon? Did he manage to get out of the gravel pits? Please let me know. Warren, if you could take a look, I'd be most appreciative. Yeah, he's back on track. There he is. All seems okay. Panic over. Panic over. Push the like, subscribe yesterday. Thank you very much, Kenny. Laura enjoys the sunshine. She does. She's like a cat, you know. If there's a bit of sun, she'll be laying there in front of it like an open fire. Job done, laugh. Nobody went off. Well, I did see over the back here there was a lot of gravel, a big kick up. So whether he just run onto the outer edges of the track and just kicked up a bit of dust, maybe. That could be what we could see. So through comes Nico Hulkenberg on his race simulation run. That doesn't mean that he'll be doing that completely on this set of tyres. Yeah, like we say, Henry, maybe he's just run wide, you know, like if you come around these parts here, like Bottas did, or a slight runoff area, then that could be why I saw that in the background there. It looks like he's running fine. I'm sure if he had taken a trip across the gravel that he would have come in just for a check-up on the under tray of the car. You're most welcome, Albert. Most welcome. We've got a new addition to the sport. We've got a Kia hybrid by the sound of it. Lapping a bit slower than the rest of the field. Renault looking strong is Bottas. Yeah, you got that downshift, very nice there. Maximum attack. So who are we missing on track? Has anyone seen a Haas? Has anyone seen a Haas? Has he gone for a coffee break, or is he switching drivers and seats like you said? Well, I'm glad, Mixapusku, that you feel like you're at the track. That's the whole idea behind this, is to share to the people of the world who cannot be here. Kia, about 1 hour 10 off the pace of F1. Nice one, Kenny. Nice one. Yeah, wind's picking up once again. Very strong, actually. It's coming across the track. If you're driving down the main straight, it's coming from you from left to right. The seat fit issue with Kevin Magnan needs to be rectified. So I take it, K-Mag's balls are too big to fit in the car. Where is Red Bull? Probably stop for a pit stop. I have now dragged Ellen into my F1 lesson, having lots of fun. Very good, Cal. Nice to hear that we're trying to educate everyone in the sweet sound of Formula 1. So just so you know, Ellen, these cars are brand new prototypes for this season. So the 2018 cars for the Formula 1 Championship are now redundant. Teams will bring brand new engines, gearboxes, pretty much every component, even the chassis. Probably anything that they might not change is the steering rack, which helps you to turn from left to right when you go into a corner. Everything else, from my knowledge, is brand new on every car, from every piece of bodywork, the under tray of the car. So this is all about shakedowns. This is about the teams getting to know their car, how to set it up, if it's performing right, any components which are potentially failed. They've all been tested back in the factory. So yeah, they've all been tested back in the factory. Like the engine would go on a dyno test, which would simulate, say for instance, Barcelona, the gear changes, everything you want. I can't see the halo. Well, that must be a good thing that we're not noticing the halo anymore. Particularly, I'm not noticing the halo. For you newbies, Kerry and Ellen, the halo is the cockpit protection device, which it's a rim which goes around the top of the helmets. And this just protects the drivers from any like head-on impact. A few years ago, we lost Charles Bianchi in Suzuka when his car went underneath a tractor which was recovering a stricken car. We don't know if a halo would ever have saved him. Last year, Charles Leclerc, I think he was very thankful to have a halo on his car when a tyre come across the front of him. You can see tyre marks on the front of the halo, which is like it says, a halo device. We've got the marshals here having a little sweep down the side of the track at the moment. Through comes the Renault, yellow and black liveried car. Got Hulkenberg. Thank you very much, Susie. It's much appreciated. We appreciate all your generous comments. And big shout out to Laura for making it all possible. She booked the tickets, the flights. This is all my birthday treat. And I'm forever grateful to you, as well as our fellow subscribers. Forza Jules. Great talent. Reminds me a lot of Charles, you know. Very, very similar in terms of talent. Damn, this day job, I just missed like 10 minutes. Poor Mike. Poor Mike. Can't you tell them you got better things to do? You know, you should never forget the sacrifices that drivers have made to this sport. Yeah, I can imagine there was. No, probably true. Maybe it could have taken some of the impact off. Bottas driving like he stole it. I've just subscribed. I urge everyone else watching to do the same. I look forward to your next streams. So yeah, what we was discussing earlier is, you know, if you like to, after races, certain topics of discussion during races, or you can do a little chat. You know, we can do live Q&A sessions. You know, you guys can get involved. We can also get Laura involved with it as well. We've got some clapping on going. I don't know what for. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. If it's something that you'd be interested in listening to and participating in, of course, then yeah, I'll definitely give it a shot. Certainly Melbourne would be great to see. We'll do some analysis on the cars that turn up in Melbourne, because they could be very different from the cars that we're seeing here. Yep, we'll do it, Mike. We will do it, mate. 100%. 100%. We might have to get up in the wee hours and sacrifice some sleep, beauty sleep. Not Laura's, I won't ask anything more. And likewise, Warren and the rest of the gang, why not get involved yourselves, you know? This is the sport for love and for sharing. And we can all share that. So I'm just going to hand over the reins for a minute to Laura, as my blood sugar levels are now drastically dropping, and we need to box for some extra fuel. Into anything done live on your channel, that would be great. Yeah, I don't like to pre-record stuff. I don't like to rehearse things. I like it to be, completely authentic and honest. So I'm not one for editing as such. I will be editing different features of the cars, so you can get an insight into how they sound through certain corners like this. When I get back home, we'll do a clipping sort of session, so we can hear all the cars in the rundown to turn 1, so you can do a comparison test for all of you. Ferrari's back out on track. Laura, the lovely assistant. Yeah, ladies and gents, I forgot to mention, on our way round from the chicane, whilst Laura was relieving herself.
Thank you.
I popped my head through a gap in the fence, and who do I see? None other than Gary Anderson from Autosport. He was there getting a look at the cars up close and personal, right up against the fence, just to see the change of direction, etc. And so I did give him a shout out. I said, "Hey Gary, how you doing?" And I said, "I love your content, great work. I'll be tuning into you later on today." I know it. So Charles just run through the pits again. He's going to slow down here for a fast approaching Alpha. So although the sun is shining, the weather is sweet here in Untitled Catalonia. The wind has picked up, so it's a bit chilly. What do you think, Laura?
It's okay. It was better yesterday, though.
Yeah, less wind yesterday.
Yeah.
Sun's coming down pretty quick now as well. Renault's looking pretty strong on his race pace at the minute. He's going for the full race simulation, and yeah, he's looking like he's not holding back. Let's put it that way. Whether he's in low revs, we don't know, or the low fuel mixture, it's yet to be seen. You see him just coming around the top here. Turn 1, Red Bull. The Honda does have remarkably the deepest notes on the low revs when they apply the throttle, so great sounding, beautiful. One of my favourites so far, that and the Mercedes, and actually the Haas. The Haas sounds like a jet engine. So hopefully they'll get back out on track soon with, I've been informed, Fittipaldi. So maybe they've got to change the lights in the back of the car for the green ones that we've seen on the back of Albon's car as well. Maybe it's taking a bit of delay along with the seat fitting. We've got about an hour and 20 minutes left of day 2. Yeah? Is it still charging?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, 93%.
Energizer's doing a sterling job. Just noticed some red lights over there. Not noted them before. Yes, the session has been red flagged. You can see on the end of the pit lane here. You've got a man waving a flag. Red flag to the session. If anyone can update us what's happened, we've not seen it on track. It must be further around the lap. Now we can see the lights down on the main start finish. It's been red flagged. So I've not been keeping up with the comments. So if you really liked German cars, you would support Germany and fight against this absurd immigration. Okay, CJ, that's pretty strong. Gasly's gone off in the gravel. Whereabouts did he go off, Horse Fighter? Which part of the track? And what did it look like? Did it look like driver error? Did it look like a failure in the car? Please let us know. Love to hear from you. Turn 10. Damn day's moving quickly. You damn right it is. You seen the comment, Richards? I love the on. I like the on-camera
commentary.
Excellent. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Gasly on. Which is the best sounding engine? The Matra V12 was ear-splitting years ago. Your girl is the best, Richard. At Silverstone, yes, I hope to be there. Don't have many friends as into F1 as myself. Would love to share opinions with your fellow lovers of the sport. That's what I love about most one. There's no animosity between us or any of the teams. Yeah, of course there's going to be controversial collisions, decisions, penalties, which will divide opinion, of course. Gasly's in the gravel, so it's going to take maybe 10 or 15 minutes for him to recover that now. For him to recover that, the team to recover that. Because unlike a full race weekend, you don't have cranes on every point of the circuit. They'll only have a few. Normally you'd have one or two definitely in the first gravel track, because this is notorious for first lap incidents, and also this is one of the most overtaking spots here. We've seen Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel in the past few seasons going toe-to-toe into turn 1. Lewis getting pushed out wide through turn 2 here. So yeah, it's going to take slightly longer. Nevertheless, I'm sure we'll get some action within the next 10 minutes or so. It's a shame for Red Bull, because it might take them a long time to get the car back to the garage if there's any repairs needed, because when you do go into the gravel, although it looks pristine and smooth, I did walk across one in Silverstone as they let you on the track after the race, and trust me, it's very uneven, especially when you put some weight on it. It will dig the car in, and of course these stones are about that big each, so you can imagine what sort of damage that can do to very delicate and intricate F1. So they have to clean up, well, not so much the side pods these days, but they'll have to clean the car up, make sure there's nothing stuck in the wings and things like that, because that will cause major upsets within the aerodynamics, which is a very fine point. So yeah, still red lights at the current time. Any questions whilst we're here for myself or Laura? Lost control on the curb and rear spun first into the barrier. It's bound to happen. That's what testing's for. Make your mistakes now. Mopeds going around to tow Gasly. Would be cool if we could do a live take at Silverstone, or if it's not possible, a live recap of the cars, V-testing, etc. We'd love to do that. I'm very up for that. I've already booked holiday during the time of Silverstone, so tell us the story. I'm not a very good storyteller. I'm good at explaining what's going on here and thereabouts. I'm not going to tell stories. I can tell you a story about myself. As a kid, my father was an F1 enthusiast. We didn't live together, separated with my mother. my granddad ran a plastic molding company called Palace Plastic Products, which they sponsored me into go-karting when I was about 10 years old. I had my own go-kart, custom made for myself. I had blue panels, red overalls, and a white crash helmet, because red, white, and blue, Crystal Palace, Great Britain, etc. I managed to get past my test, because you have to do a test. I think it was with the AA or RAC, I can't remember because it was that far long ago. Past that, entered quite a few testing days. Used to go to Sandown Race Course, which is a horse racing track in the middle. They've got a really nice, I was going to say F1 track, really nice go-kart track. And that's where David Coulthard and I think at the time maybe Mika or some of the guys used to come down to see you. Massive crash. Okay. Well, I hope car and driver will be okay. So yes, it might take some time. So yeah, started racing. Used to do quite a lot of test days, mainly because it was a brand new car and we had to run the engine in, which was hand built at Sandown race course by a nice South African gentleman. Yeah, probably drove it maybe 10 times, I would say, pretty much brand new. Used to drive it around my granddad's factory for fun as well, because he had a really long production line there. At Surbiton, we went there. It was about £6 for a day. You could go there, pay your £6, and you could do pretty much 9 to 5 running. I remember first lap I managed to spin out, land in a ditch, and then shortly after these parent and child turned up in a rusty old transit van, which looking back a few years later, that was actually Lewis Hamilton. He was in a cart lower to mine, because I got one to grow into, because I was going to spend a year learning how to kart and everything and then step into racing, and he used to breeze past me like I was not even there. My tyres were the super hard tyres, which would never die on you, but at the same time I was quite envious of him at that time. His father used to speak to my father. I had a good old chat. We used to speak about that at great length. So it just shows how far he come from being a clapped out old rusty van, you know, budget. Now look at him flying around the world in his private jets. Good on him, you know, great on him. The sacrifice his father made for him, I think, was incredible. He's not like Lance Stroll, who's just you know, could walk into it. He's had to work his way with his father, and he was lucky enough to get noticed by the McLaren team at the time. He was famously told Ron Dennis how he wanted to drive one of his F1 cars, and managed to do so in the end. So I think that's a lovely story. So that's my story. And no, I don't think I'm anywhere as good. Well, glad you enjoyed it, VJ. The team expect their 2019 car to arrive circuit between 4 and 5 on Wednesday morning. So maybe they'll get out Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, maybe Wednesday afternoon they will be able to get back out. Actually arrive at the pre-season testing. Because although they might arrive at the track, they're going to fly different components in. They have to bolt them all together. They're going to have to do their tests, simulations, everything on the car, in the garage, you know. So, yeah, Wednesday afternoon at the earliest, I would predict that current thing. So, if they get out on Thursday, it'll be a bonus, I would say. It'll be a bonus. Just having a look here, yeah, on the main lights, we're still red flagged at the minute. You can see the pit lane light as well is currently red. So we'll let you know as soon as we see that go green. So please go have a cup of tea, coffee, whatever you fancy. You know, grab a refreshment break. We won't be going anywhere. We'll stay live because we don't want to miss any action, and we're going to keep all of you up to date with any goings on as well. What's going on now? Glad you enjoy it, Captain. You felt I had a story. Thank you. He lost control, spun it into a wall. I'd say his gearbox is done. So did he? Oh, okay. And done the rear of his car. So he spun and he went rearwards into the barrier, I take it. The moped's going to tow Gasly. That would be something to behold, seeing a moped trying to tow an F1 car out of a gravel trap. But don't think... yes, you missed Gasly going off the track. I've not managed to catch it because it was around by turn 10, I've been informed. It's only 11-12, sorry, backwards. So that's where we were. Is that where we was earlier, or is that the end of the straight? The back straight? We're running out of precious time now. An hour and 8 minutes of testing left for the day. Everyone's chilling, enjoying themselves. So quiet. You seem to be on a faster lap than for some time, as you just set a personal best through the middle sector. Yeah, he's got to, find the limits of the car, and that's what it's all about. Free practice, testing sessions. It's all about finding that limit. And sometimes you have to go over it to know that's the limit. That's the way the world works. Thank you very much for the updates, Mike. Much appreciating that. How's the moped doing? Any chance of him getting it out of there? Or do we need someone else to give him a hand? What was your favourite race of all time? Mine was Canada, when Jensen educated the world on how to drive at masterclass in the wet. Well, it was all down to Sebastian, that win as well, wasn't it? Do you remember the last lap when he dropped it? This is what I mean about Seb's mentality sometimes. When it comes under pressure, Hockenheim, Canada, a few spring to mind. So that's when Lewis really comes into his own. When he's under pressure, you will get that extra tenth, that extra 100th, to stick it on pole, to get there. We saw the amount of pressure Lewis managed to put on Rosberg back in Monza, I think in 17 or 16, when he was hunting him down. One of my favourite races in recent memory, it's got to be Hockenheim from last year. That race had a bit of everything. Lewis siving through the field. Sebastian really letting the side down that day, and that's when the championship slipped away from him. What other races spring to mind? Let me have a think. I think, was it 2007-8? Lewis Hamilton's driving Great Britain in the driving rain. That was an incredible, exceptional drive from him. Great afternoon's viewing. Well done, guys. Thank you very much for the positive feedback. Always a pleasure. Yes, obviously 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix. Agony for Felipe Massa. Felt so bad for him on that occasion, but also ecstatic for Lewis Hamilton. People will say that Sutil purposely slowed down. Watch the last lap on board. He was on slick tyres on a wet track. I thought Lewis had lost it when he'd come in and put intermediates on, but just goes to show it can all come down to the last corner, the last 100 meters of a race. And for me, that was euphoria. It was absolute amazing to see him being crowned, and I was also very, very sad to see the look on Felipe Massa's father's face, and Felipe as well in the pit lane. That was tragic. Got to retire for the rest of this afternoon. It's almost 2 a.m. here in Queensland, Australia. Thank you for Richard and Laura. You're most welcome. Big shout out to everyone down under who has to adjust their body clocks to get up and watch this. Thank you very much, Brad. We hope so too. Be flying back to London tomorrow. Back to reality. I'm in a bubble right now, in the Formula 1 bubble, and I'm fucking loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, so the lights have gone off on the start-finish straights. We've still got a red light on the end of the pit lane. So maybe there's a countdown to when the track's going to reopen now. Let's see if the lights behind us. Wait, I don't know if you can see it. Where is it? It's just over the back here somewhere.
You can zoom in.
Huh?
You can zoom in.
Yeah, it's still red at the minute. But the lights on the start-finish straight have. Some stupid photographer was trying to climb over the barrier there onto the racetrack. What a twat. Stricken RB15 has been loaded onto a flatbed truck down at turn 12 with Gasly now back in the Red Bull garage to debrief his mechanics. Still under red flag conditions. Thank you very much for the update, Mike. It is a lovely bubble, isn't it? 15 seconds of world champ for Massa, and I was in my mate's foot biting into a sofa hoping for Lewis to gain that extra pace on. That was Glock. Why am I saying so too? Glock. Timo Glock. Of course it was. Yeah, we can hear the klaxons down in pit lane. I think that might be like a 15 or 20 second down the pub. Sorry, down the pub. There might be a, just to give them a heads up that the track might be reopening very, very shortly. Okay, we've got a marshal in the end of the pit lane. He's waving a green flag. We've got green flag on the main straight, and yeah, the red lights have gone off there as well. So action should resume in the next few minutes or so. Once the marshal moves out of the way on the end of the pit lane, which he's doing so now, I believe we will be back in business. So I'm sure quite a few teams have got an hour left to run. Lovely. Good observation, mate. Very, very good observation. I can still see something flashing down there. Of course, it takes a minute to get these cars started up. It's not like a car where you can just turn a key and go. You need a full team of people. Who's whistling? So I would expect some of them to take the opportunity to do a pit lane start simulation now, as soon as we're coming to the end of the day. Go out on heavy fuel load. Singapore, Alonso and Ferrari underdogs fought off the Red Bulls. Here we go. We've got Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, first out on track. Ferrari wasting no time whatsoever. Can't remember if it was 10 or 11. Yeah, I'm not good with dates myself. So I'd like to see Ferrari are not messing around. First one's out. No sandbagging from them, that's for sure. I think they've learned from mistakes of the past. There's no point holding the cards close to your chest if you've got shit cards. They've got very, very good cards this year. Looks like they've got the full house. So only one car on track at the minute, Charles Leclerc. Thank you very much, Albert. We shall do. And then back to work on Thursday. Charles Leclerc just come around the final corner and will be approaching us in a second. Here he comes. out the pits. We've got the sister. Oh, big twitch there. There we go, it's gone a bit lighter now, that's a bit better. There's the Alpha getting a bit tail happy, coming into turn 1. That's because his rear tyre's not up to temperature. Next out, we've got Racing Point, the Pink Panther. Oh wow, that would have been special. The Austria Grand Prix, seeing the Dutchman win. A pleasure, Albert, pleasure. There was obviously the infamous Silver Arrows clash here on the opening lap a few years back. I think it was in 16. When Nico Rosberg got an excellent start. He was in launch mode in his car. Forgot to change the energy settings. And that gave Lewis a great advantage. He went up the inside into turn 5, or turn 4 I should say. And they was both out of the race, which inadvertently produced Max Verstappen's first win, which he totally deserved. You've got to be there to win it. You've got to be there to win it. Racing Point's first flying lap after the restart. Looking very tidy. Stroll getting some good power down through there. Credit to Lance, I think he's had a pretty solid day. He's been running very well. And let's remember, without paid drivers, some of these teams may not exist. The likes of Williams, they really need the likes of Lance Stroll and Pastor Maldonado to really bring sponsors. Same could be said for Danny Kvyat. He brings a lot of Russian backing with him. Alpha's looking tight through there as well. Are we going to see Mercedes? Not going to be seeing Red Bull for the rest of the day, I wouldn't imagine. So it'll be a tough ask to get that back to the pits, get it back out again. I think we might be seeing another car coming out of the garage. See some movement there. Fairly hooked up through there. Looks like he can lean on the car quite nicely. Through the second sector, just over the top there, we'll be able to see Lance. Charles Leclerc. Short shift in there for turn 2. Followed by the Alpha. Getting a bit more revs through turn 2 there. Maybe Charles running a bit more fuel. So what's the best moment from testing so far? We had Danny Rick earlier today coming down this main straight. The DRS parting company with the Renault. No such problems this afternoon. Has anyone seen... Has anyone seen if they've been running with the DRS open or not? We've got a marshal on the end of the pit lane holding a flag by the look of it. or if my eyes are deceiving me, it might be the Renault garage. I might need a stronger prescription of glasses. No, that was just a practice start from Mercedes. Mercedes are so loud on power. So loud, love it. Notably louder than the Ferrari now. See if it's the same on the next lap. Good nuts. Try. There you go. Looking very tight. Looking good. So teams are allowed to do starts on the pit lane, because they're not allowed to do it on the start finish straight, because that would be very, very dangerous. Cars running a full pelt. Comes Valtteri. So one of my favourite moments from testing yesterday was seeing, on a few occasions, I think it was Lewis or maybe possibly Valtteri running toe-to-toe with the Toro Rosso down into turn 1. Good to see some on-track action. I know this is not a race, but we got racers on the track. That's never going to stop them. Just over 50 minutes remaining. Leclerc up to 139 laps now. Ferrari are racking up the mileage. Yeah, they've certainly been the best running, slow running here. I don't know if it was me, but I saw a slight wobble in his rear left there. Could be very, very wrong. Yes, indeed, double bounce. Indeed. Yeah, so it'll be interesting if Ferrari and some of their junior teams, if they would, try and slipstream each other just to see the effects of it, because that will be important information for when it comes to racing, in terms of what wings they want to run. So here we go. Yeah, the Alfa's just overtaken the Ferrari. That was a nice bit of footage there. Seeing the Alfa overtake the big brother Ferrari. Did you catch that, guys? So will he return the favour? No, I think Charles is backed off. Probably got about a second and a half gap now. So we've got a car in the pits, just heard the klaxon. Come on, we need to see Haas back out on track. I want to hear that jet engine. Go on, K-Mag. Through comes Valtteri. We've got another car, I think it's a Renault. At the end of the pit lane. It's just done a practice start. Where he comes into turn 1. Love the sound of them when they're really low revs. Remember, smash that like button, guys. Share to any of your friends or any other communities you got on Facebook from the final part testing here. We've got 48 minutes remaining. All right, darling. Do you want to hold this, son? Do you want to hold this? Just want to drink. Yeah. So to the eye, it just looks flat. So I don't think that will change throughout the first part of the season. I think they'll keep it like matte black, so any of the cameras trying to pick it up at speed, you won't be able to see too much into it. Just a good way to disguise them. So that's why I've seen a lot of black on the under tray of the cars. Laura killing the camera work. That's in a good way, darling. Don't worry.
That's in a good way. Okay.
What happened to Williams? Williams are still at home. They've overslept and they're late for work, basically. They've probably called in, sorry, there was snow back at home or something like that. Yes, the Williams have really let us down. So someone was saying in the comments earlier something about some of the braking components, etc. Wasn't fitting. Which is a massive failure in itself. If it's something to do with the braking, it's not massively different to my knowledge from last year, so I don't understand why that's been such an oversight from Paddy and his team. So yeah, I've been told that they'll be at the track at the earliest tomorrow morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So the mechanics are going to have to get straight to work because the test is going to open at 9 o'clock. So do not expect to see them up and running then, because you know what these beasts are like. They're really complex machines and it's going to take a hell of a long time to get it together. Now comes the Toro Rosso. Sounding very rough there. Maybe that's because he's short shifting. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, he's probably just getting up to speed. I see a bit of smoke coming out the back of the car over there. Oh, thank you. I think it was the Renault. I did see a little puff of something. Maybe just run over a bit of... Sorry, boys and girls, we're just gonna. My boss is wondering if I'm in Barcelona. He obviously doesn't get my notifications. We're just gonna share this now. So he's just got first pictures here, and yeah, he's put it right into the back of the wall there, Pierre Gasly. Hulkenberg taking it very cautiously. Doesn't seem to be any sign of any engine problems though. Any comments coming through? Let's have a quick look. Honda gets mad driving slowly. It just wants to go faster. Oh, yeah. More of the Honda. Let me know about any comments. I'll try and keep up with it.
This one.
Well, this is the problem when you have nails. Still at it. Super single Momo F2. We're still at it. Sad for Williams. Hope they will not go bankrupt. Yeah, it's looking like that way. We expect you shortly. Unexpected visitor. Okay, Warren, no problem. Cool live in race stream. Thanks for the live video. Pleasure. Thanks for the video, but pity if you keep for Mercedes, Forza Ferrari. We're here for all the teams. We're here for F1, baby. We're not just here for Mercedes, of course. I'm wearing a Mercedes gear, Mercedes fan, only because it's Lewis. If Lewis was at any other team, I would follow him wherever he goes. Don't follow the team, follow the drivers. Favourite driver, Lewis Hamilton, quite easily. We're following George Russell, Lando Norris this year. Love Danny Ricciardo. Charles Leclerc is one of my favourite prospects in the sport, so that will warm me towards the orange, the lukewarm Ferrari, shall we say. Ferrari have looked dominant though over these past 2 days. Of course, there's a lot more testing to go, so we will see how that shakes out over the next week or so. Sounds a bit to me like Hulkenberg is lifting and coasting to me. Ask Janine Power. Okay. Sun's slowly coming down, so expect track temperature to start to drop, and that'll mean lap times will slowly start to dwindle as well. So we're still yet to see the Haas coming out. You want to sort that out?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
My watch is talking to me.
Watch is talking to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still yet to see the Haas back out on track. We've been informed that Kevin Magnussen, he's had some problems with his seat fitting, so I don't know if it's the same with the second driver that they have with them today, which was Fittipaldi, I've been informed. We shall see. We shall see. Racing Point have been out, back in. Who else are we missing? Red Bull won't be out for the rest of the day. Gasly has binned the car. I'm sure Max Verstappen will be throwing his toys out the pram for that, going and giving him a stern talking to. What have you done with my baby? So there was a discussion before last season. Along the lines of like, should F1 cars have some kind of insurance? Now, if you're a back running team like a Williams or a privateer team like Haas, for instance, if a car crashes into you, why should you have to pay for all the new components? Surely there should be some sort of like cover for them. There was the incident, I think it was at maybe the Malaysian Grand Prix, where a drain cover ripped one of the cars apart. I think that was a Haas as well. Should the track have to pay for it? It's not really fair on the teams, because we've got to think these are costing tens, maybe hundreds of £1,000s, some of these components. So what do you think? How does it work? Does anyone know? I'm sure the teams just have to pay it themselves, and there's no option to claim any of that money back. But yeah, for a team like Williams, they might only have one front wing, the new spec at a certain race. Sun is going in. It's getting chilly. Very chilly. This is Sam. I'm going to be there next year, and I would love to meet up with you and buy a slap-up dinner for such a lovely couple. We would love to join you, and you don't need to buy us anything, mate. Yes, it is. There's got to be some kind of insurance. Mercedes are sponsored by Alliance.
That's
so who are Mercedes sponsored by? Budget? Or someone like that? Oh dear. It's quite not good. Even a few beers. I'd say, a litre, you get that big jugs. Mercedes looking very, very planted, I must say. So they've been doing this for the last 3 or 4 laps now. Every time he comes past turn 1, he's switching to harvesting. So maybe they're going, for full beans in sector 2 and 3. Private themes nowadays. I think Max gets the championship this year. I think it's a bridge too far. I think definitely when it comes to 2021, I think that could be a year where Honda starts to really dominate this. So Lance is back out on track. Good to see him putting the mileage in. Doing a good job for the boys. So just over half an hour remaining of the second day of testing, and our final day at the circuit de Catalunya. Valtteri's on some used rubber. He's under braking there. He had a slight twitch, and again a bit hesitant coming around turn 3 in the beginning phase. Yeah, I'm just checking. It's about 2 or 3 seconds delay we've got here, which is not too bad considering, is it? I think it's... So who's in the box at the moment? Alpha on track. Lance is going for an evening stroll. Where has gone? What happened to Has? Has they called it a day, do you think? Has they gone for a dinner? Merck will buy Williams for a second team. Interesting. Maybe there can be some sort of deal struck. Yeah. Why not? I think there's always a sort of deal, where they can give them a driver like George Russell and then they get engines for free. That's one way of like sponsoring your second team. So I think that's what they've done in previous times. I've been talking non-stop for the last 2 days. I think Laura's getting tired of me just talking as well. No?
No.
I can't see her face from here. You can see her smile. What happened to the live comments, but they seem to have disappeared here.
Show me.
No, I'm going to turn this one off. This battery's rather low.
Okay.
Out comes Charles Leclerc from the garage. Little puff of smoke from Valtteri in the background. So if you struggle to get to an F1 race, probably discussed this many times, but get down to a test session. £20 a day gives you access to grandstands such as this, which will probably cost you about £300 for the actual race itself, and you're going to get about 10 hours of F1 action. We've got the Haas out, and we've also got the Alpha. Ladies and gents at home, please let me know who's driving the Haas, who you can see. Have a look at the crash helmet, because we heard that Kevin Magnussen was having some problems with his seat. Is it Fittipaldi taking his seat now? We'll try and catch the number as we go through, because I think Kevin Magnussen's number 20. If we've got a different number on the car, and if we've got green lights on the back of the car, that would indicate that it's their rookie driver who doesn't obtain a super license but has an A license. So we'll watch that when we next come through and get a glimpse of the rear end. Come, Charles. We've got, I think it's a Renault on the end of the pit lane. We can see the yellow. He's just about to do a practice start, so we're going to try and listen out for him shifting up the gears. Here we go. He's back down. So here's the jet engine, listen. Broken very early. Number 51, that must be Fittipaldi. Laura's way better with the camera than Richard. I agree. I can talk the talk, but she can walk the walk. Yeah, number 51 on that car there. So of course he's going to be very cautious. This is probably his first time driving an F1 car in anger. So he doesn't want to bin it because they've had limited running as it is. So he'll be just taking time to get up to speed. Did anyone suggest crowdfunding so you two can stay and cover all the all the tests for us? They have, and although I appreciate the sentiment, I couldn't take any money from any of you because it's something that I want to do from the kindness of my heart. So Laura's way better. We know that BJ. Ferrari it is. Sounds more like.
There's more up.
Why only have a few people watching? Why only have a few people watching? I've just been a very bit cautious with the titles, the thumbnails and stuff like that because we've had a lot of content removed by the powers that be. Here's the Haas, listen. The green lights flashing on the back of his car. Does that mean he has a super license already? I don't think he would have. Well done, Richard. Amazing job. Well done, Laura. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. Gotta love the sounds. Alpha will be challenging for the best of the rest, in my opinion. Yeah, it'll depend on the track as well, in my opinion. Magus having troubles with the seat. Charles in the box. I presume Ferrari sound a little less reserved if he returns. If your team goes under, what happens with Williams Technology Company? Is that separate? Well, they're not as expansive as like McLaren, who do. Here we go. We've got two cars. Now, it's a bit naughty there at Hulkenberg. We stayed on the racing line, and the closing speed was quite great. So, a bit naughty. What was we talking about just then before? Distracted.
I don't know.
So yeah, it depends on the track in terms of who's going to be best of the rest in the midfield. I was going to say Sauber, but the Alfa Romeo team. So Fittipaldi looking very twitchy on throttle there in turn 1, turn 2. But he's doing a good job so far. The number 51 car. Your YouTube capper is separate in a games type, so confused. Yeah, I normally do gaming videos of like the F1 game and stuff like that. Any news on Williams? They said Sky F1 they're late with the cars and should come later today. Come on, Kubica. That's Cole. So Cole, they're not going to be at the track until tomorrow morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning. Then they've got to put the car together, get it on track. They've had some problems manufacturing. So don't expect to see them until probably tomorrow afternoon, because if they get here 5 o'clock in the morning, the mechanics have got to unpack everything. We had a look in the Williams garage earlier this morning. They've just got the 2018 car with the 2019 livery. There is no equipment there, no nothing. They've just got the holdings up and stuff, so they've got to ship all of that in. It's not just the car, it's all the stuff to service the car with as well that they're going to have to set up. So the team are going to have to work through the night today to get that all up and yeah, and so I won't be here tomorrow, Carl, unfortunately. This is my last day at the test. So I will be flying back to not so sunny England tomorrow. I've got to get back to work for Thursday, but it's been great to be here. highly suggest you come to this. 20 quid a day. Get grandstands, go all the way around the track, get some great vantage points. Look back through my YouTube, you can see other videos throughout the day. We saw Danny Rick, we can still see his tyre marks going into the barrier, just kept it out of there, and again back on track. Another thing for you to note, Carl, if you see green lights in the back of the car, it's because it's one of the rookie drivers. So far, Ferrari have dominated the past 2 days. They've racked up the equivalent yesterday, just only yesterday, of London to Glasgow. And they've pretty much, I think they've almost surpassed that today as well, with Charles Leclerc in the car. Williams was supposed to be running Latifi in the car as well. I do expect them to drop that. Maybe they're obliged to with the young driver program. However, with the limited running they're going to have, they're only going to have 1 day this week, and then testing next week resumes Tuesday to Friday. So there's only about 5 days of testing for Williams, which is not much whatsoever. So we really hope that they can get that back on track. Any more comment?
Yeah.
What are we saying? It's afternoon for me. Thanks, Richard. No, I won't be here. I'll check again later. Hello from Greece. Excellent stream from you both. See you next time. Have a nice day, Mr. I thought it was Marcus Ericsson for a minute. Probably be trolling Grosjean if anything. I'm not there. I'm in the US. Don't blame me. Oh. Yes, one team we're missing this late afternoon is McLaren. McLaren had a pretty solid morning, early afternoon with Lando Norris in the car. However, we've not seen him for the past few hours, have we? Past 2 hours or so there must be something going on with their car. Hopefully we get to see him in this last 20 minutes now of this session. We shall see. I'm going to just have a look, see if we can get any news on the Williams. Not the Williams. How is Lewis doing so far? Lewis is doing quite all right. He won the morning session today and he was in the afternoon yesterday. He's been predominantly focusing on long race pace and not the short race pace. That's why you see a difference in times. Also, they're running different tyre compounds. So this year, we've got a car at the end of the pits. Looks like Valtteri Bottas from here. Fast approaching Renault. We're going to get out of the way. Well done, lad. Well done. So Valtteri and Lewis, they're within tenths of a second within their times. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, Lewis, he's looked pretty strong, been focusing on long race pace. So this year they've simplified the colours on the things. We don't have like the supers, the ultras, the different colours. We're just going to have white, yellow and red. White, yellow and red, and then they can select from 5 different compounds currently for each race. So that starts from C1 to C5. C1 is the hardest tyre compound. Today we've seen C2, which is the white wall, and we've seen C3, the yellow wall, and we've seen C4 as well, which is the red wall. The teams have predominantly been used in yellow, C3 and C2 for the longer runs, for the race stints mainly. Hi Richard, thanks for your streams yesterday and today. I'll keep subscribed and I hope to see some more nice things from you in the future. And also, you seem to know a lot about the F1. What is your day job? My day job is working in hospitality. I work in hotels, looking after people and so forth. You can talk as well, alright?
No.
Why not?
You did the talking.
You do the talking. Explains the amiable personality.
Friendly.
Friendly. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, we have to be quite patient at times, you could say.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, we've been staying in Renaissance Hotel in Fira, Barcelona. It's a beautiful hotel, 27 stories. They've got a rooftop swimming pool, which is currently closed because of out season. A rooftop bar, which is again actually closed, but you can still go up and get a great vantage point of the city. They've got a really open plan middle part of the hotel, so you can actually walk out of your room and it's open to the air. They've got like palm trees and everything there on every floor, which is quite amazing. And the restaurant's on the 14th floor. So big shout out to them. The track's pretty tricky to get to, so if you are staying, not so close to around here, this Montemelo is the town close to the track. And here we go, McLaren's back out on the track. McLaren's back out on the track. It's like a fresh set of boots. Short drive to the track from the hotel. It takes us about 40 minutes every day. Got a little Opel Corsa, which we drive with. Not used to driving on this side of the road, so it's been a bit of a challenge. What we've been getting at. Got another car accelerating out of the pits. Is it a Haas? Yeah. The number 51 of the 50,000. Look at the flow bits on the side of it. So they put this green paint all down the side of the car. It's like a luminous. So to see the test starts anytime. To be honest, by the time we're going to walk down there, the session's going to be over. So I'd rather stay where we are just for the final part today. We did cover some of that yesterday, and it's pretty hard to get a good shot of there because the grandstand that you want just before the main grandstand, that one you can't access, and that's the one that you'd really want. And when you're on ground level, number 4 of Lando Norris. Yeah, so that grandstand's closed. They're not all open. I'd say 50% of them are. The main key ones that you want to go and sit on, because obviously they don't have so many stewards around the track. Listen to the jet engine. Oh, well, let's get that stop there. Okay, no problem. I've seen it yesterday or so. Yeah, cheers, Peter. Cheers, mate. The temperature's really dropping quickly now.
Yeah, it is. We've got the Toro Rosso coming out, and there's also a Renault going to do a practice start at the end of the pit. Flashing green lights indicate that he does not obtain a super license, and he's got only an A license, which is the one just before, which enables him to drive the F2. Here comes the Renault, coming side by side with the McLaren out the pits. jet engine on the Haas, do they have different engines? No, they don't have different engines, but their turbo gives a really whistles down the straight when it's on maximum attack mode. So you can really hear that whistle. It's a very distinct sound to every other car that we've seen. Listen. So it's normally when it's in the top end. Yeah, Ferrari's like stealth mode. It seems like they've got a really slippery car in a straight line and it's not really causing too much distortion to the air, which is what you want. Okay. So Haas again have had quite limited running today. I think they was the lowest runners yesterday with 35 laps. It'll be interesting to know how many they've done today. Probably easier to see in this light now as the sun's gone down. So visibility will be a bit more tricky for the drivers at this minute. Yeah, it's a bit strange how Fittipaldi doesn't have the lights on the back of his car. And Albon does. So we've got Renault again doing another practice start. Here comes the jet. What the Flovis paint is. It's a very watery, luminous paint, which sticks quite well to the car. So they normally paint it over the front wing, down the side pods, and also the back end of the car. So most teams have been running it around the Coke bottle, which is the rear end of the car when it sculpts like inwards there, because that's a real area of performance that every team's working on, how they can channel air under the rear diffuser and also around the rear wing. What the Flovis does, it gives a visual representation of where the air is flowing around the car. You can see it where the liquid is being pushed around, so it gives them a great chance just to correlate that information. So we've seen it predominantly today on the Toro Rosso and also Racing Point car. We haven't seen it too much on any of the big teams, in all honesty. Most teams have run aero rakes in their shakedown events, you know, on track days and stuff like that. But today we've seen the Racing Point running aero rakes on the left-hand side of their car around here, but no other team has. So we'll keep an eye out over the coming days to see if anyone else is using any bits of extra kit to monitor temperatures and airflow around the car. The last 9 minutes now. Again, we've got the Renault out of the pits, and we've got a fast approaching Toro Rosso. Do you like this Alfa Romeo? You want to take a seat, darling? You deserve a break. Sorry, the bad cameraman is here again. Indeed, whistle. Here comes the jet. Sorry about the darkness. There we go. Let's brought that back up. So what age did you develop an interest for F1, and was there a specific driver or team? That sounds horrible. I quite like it on full throttle. Off throttle I don't really like it so much.
So I developed a love of F1 from as early as I can remember. I used to go watch it with my stepfather, stay up to the crack of dawn, make him tea, just so I could be there as his sidekick, get some insight. The first real one that I sort of fell in love with would probably be Damon Hill. I remember watching that race in Suzuka. Thanks for the thumbs up. Give us a like, guys. Alpha's looking nice. Yeah, it was the famous Suzuka win. Again, Renault doing another practice start. So when Damon Hill famously won in Suzuka to claim his one and only title, and Murray Walker's famous lines, I've got to stop because I've got a lump in my throat. So that was one of the real memories that I have from an early age. I will certainly keep you posted on future projects. I'll get some uploads, and again, like we said, if you want to do some live Q&As after like races or further tests, I'm quite happy to do so. The race in Japan made me cry. Yeah, it was very emotional. And Phil Murray, after seeing, he would have been old enough to see Graham, his father, win his championship. Definitely. So sorry, chat's just gone off. Who do you think is going to win in the Lando or Carlos Sainz? So if we're going to go over a season, I would expect Carlos to really do a number on Lando, but Lando's looking pretty quick. He's looking very solid in his car. It's his first season, so we can't really expect much from him. Excellent. Thanks, Mike. Perez. Again, Renault, again practice start. They're really taking advantage of these final minutes to get as much information on the clutch bite point, I would assume. They must have had some problems. That's correct. I did hear somewhere one of the teams having problems with their clutch. I'll update you later, but it may well be Renault. Maybe that's why they're doing so many launches at the minute, to try and correlate as much data. Well, that's not quite correct, unfortunately, Captain Obvious. I think it is also Keke and Nico. I have my Sky F1 on mute, Carl says. Thank you very much. Very complimentary of you, Carl. We miss you, buddy. Hopefully catch up soon for a race. Go to one of these sports bars like we've said in the past. We need to finally do it. Thank you to everyone who's contributed over the past few days. Thanks for all the new subscribers, all the likes, all the love you've shared. It's certainly been a pleasure to be here. Ferrari coming out the pits now. They're probably going to do a quick short run quali simulation. What time are you ending the stream? Well, we've only got 3 minutes remaining of the session, so we'll have a chat on the way back. No worries, mate. No worries, Captain. Thank you, Neville. Give us the thumbs up. Give us a subscribe if you can. Renault again. Yeah, it must be them who's been having clutch problems. It's been a cracking couple of days, Warren. I appreciated your insight, and also, yes, the banter. Move your hat and take a stroll was the favourite comment that I've had so far. No, battery. Yeah, it's pushing it out. Bottas or Rosberg? Rosberg. I think Rosberg really pushed Hamilton to greater heights. I think we've seen the most complete driver with him. Well, that's your trademark, man. That's hashtag Warren, mate. That's that one. It's like that Will guy from Paddock Past. He's always coming up with the Haas jokes. It's the last minute and a bit now. It's through Sparks off the back. Love to you too, guys. Do you see Leclerc outracing Bottas? That's definite for me. I think he's a natural born racer. I think he's got that overtaking craft, which Bottas somewhat lacks. Bottas is a bit more of an old man, wise ahead, shall we say. He thinks about the long game more. Leclerc is just instinctive racer. He just feels it with the seat of his pants. Thanks, Albert. Yeah, so I definitely see, not old man, but more mature driver, I'd say. And he does look a bit older with that beard. He should shave that off. That'll save him a few hundredths of a second per lap, I would expect. Ferrari running some Flovias here in the front wing, I've just noticed. Looking forward to the season, starting more vlogs and streams from you, fella. I'll be watching your channel intently. Look forward to it. Look forward to your content as well. Appreciate it, Rory. Really appreciate it, buddy. Keeps it interesting. Keeps me up to date as well, hearing the lap times, hearing what's going on. Red light now, session is finished. The drivers will get a chance to complete their laps. We've got a marshal waving a red flag on the end of their pit lane just to indicate no more cars are permitted to exit the pit lane. And we just watch the remaining cars coming through as Valtteri completes the end of day 2 of testing here at the Circuit de Catalunya. And I'm British, so I am a big Lewis Hamilton fan. Loved Alonso in his Renault days. Who indeed, but we had another member who said he's going to be here. Something recent, I can't remember the title, I'll look back for it. Guys, yeah, all press the bell icon, so next to... Yeah, thanks Peter. Thanks Peter, I'd like you to get involved as well. So, I'll probably do a recap once I get home. Upload some just comparisons of different cars. Are you relaying to? Jose? What am I relaying to? Not quite sure. Should we start walking, my dear? Don't think we're going to have any more cars coming through now. So it's sad to leave the circuit. It's been a great couple of days. No, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be flying tomorrow back to the UK, unfortunately. I'll definitely make a week of it next year. She looks shattered. She is shattered. And now into the simulator. No, I want to get warm now, mate. I want to get warm. And get back, get a hot meal. I want to find a cup of tea. That's what I want to find. A nice warm cup of tea. So most of the cars had, excuse me, had pretty good reliability over the past few days. Ferrari looked bulletproof in terms of pace, reliability. Didn't see too many problems with any of their cars. The Renault, they've had a few little issues. We had the DRS wing fly off Danny Rick earlier today. They come flying off probably just before the braking zone into turn 1. That caused him to go off. Xbox, mate, Xbox. I'm on Xbox One. I'm going downstairs. Yeah, I'm on Xbox One. We do the old F1 streams. Too much of a shame. You're doing an excellent job. Thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it, Nick. Stay tuned. We can all get involved. Make a little community of ourselves. We've got to find our way back to our Opel now. You have lost credit. Boo. Lost credit for what? For the Xbox. I see. Well, it's just because I got a lot of mates on Xbox. That's the reason. I was always a PlayStation guy. But some of my close friends are on Xbox. That's why I chose to, just so I can game online with them. It's a shame we can't do the cross-platform. Yeah, I agree. It's a better console, but hey ho. Beggars can't be choosers, can they? So it's a bit of a long walk now, probably about 20-minute or so walk back to the car. Now you can park fairly close to the circuit, which is a benefit, and it's free parking as well. Don't have to pay for that. She's still smiling. Bless you, darling.
Yeah, we're going, Mum.
Yeah, you're happy. You've been a godsend. Thank you so much for this beautiful treat.
Yeah, it's alright.
You've been a superstar. Oh. So not long to go. Got another week of testing, and about 3 weeks after, we've got the race. You have a very understanding partner, a very patient partner, and a very loving partner, I must say. What a lady. Kudos to Laura. Kudos to Laura. Yes, I think I owe you plenty of dinners and whining and dining and
Back massages.
back massages. Yes, you'll be getting plenty of back massages. But I'll repay this. I think I'll be paying for it until next season's test, or maybe Silverstone.
Yeah, we will.
So if any of you are planning to go to Silverstone, please let me know. I'll be there because it might be the last British Grand Prix, and also, Lewis is coming into the twilight of his career. We don't know what the cars are going to be like in the next future years, so we might not see him win a British Grand Prix again. What a wonderful girl from Neville Grimshaw. Getting a lot of love, Laura. Yeah. You rest on now. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I'll stay with you in case we've got any questions on the way back to the car. And then I'll probably be doing some uploads tomorrow. She's a great lady, Richard. Be proud of her. I'm very proud of her. I've told you that many times, isn't it? How proud I am of you. What's her opinion on the trip?
It was okay.
It was okay?
I enjoyed the weather, enjoyed the city. Well, that's it for me.
Yeah, the first day we was here, we arrived very early. We landed at about 9 o'clock into Barcelona, made our way to the hotel, checked in, room was ready early, which was a bonus. Took a nap, and then we went out and we explored the town. We went into the old Gothic part of the city. We saw a lot of beautiful architecture in the cathedrals. We then, you want to take it? No. Okay. We then went, we headed down towards the seafront area. Saw the super yachts from the billionaires. We then took a very, very long lance stroll around the harbour there, and we went for a drink, asked for a large beer, got a litre, challenged to drink that, I tell you. Still here. Quick one, any other platforms or just YouTube? Well, I'm a member of many Facebook groups, like Formula One Forever, Formula One Memes, stuff like that, so catch me on there. haven't really done much of the vlogging and commentary before. I normally do it when I do like online races, stuff like that, or my offline championship. Gonna kickstart that again. I was in the Renault car. Sorry, I mean the Q&A stuff. No, I never done any other Q&A. This is the first time I've ever done it. So I thoroughly enjoyed interacting with the Formula One fans. I don't think I'd do it for anything else because of the amount of trolls out there. But with you guys, it's been a pleasure to talk, get your opinions, get your feedback, and yeah.
All the trolls have been blocked.
The social media moderator over here. You know, all the people kept spamming, and we worked out how to do that.
Yeah, the profiles got blocked.
So, did you do anything yourself, Mike? Let us know. I'll certainly tune in. Sweet, see you all on here. Cheers, gangsters. Fly safe. Thank you very much. Laura the Troll Hunter. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. Oh.
Well, I do take care of reviews, media.
It's been a pleasure as well, Clapton Beady and Obvious. Thanks a lot. No, we're not staying, Henry. We're not. We couldn't get that amount of time off work, so one of my other colleagues was going on holiday, already booked it in, flying over to New York, so I've got to get back to work. Got to cover the shifts, you know, pumping the hours. Yeah, thanks, Henry. Fair enough, but you should bloody stay here, yeah? You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Before you leave, any of you, just give us a thumbs up. And if you've got anyone who'd be interested in watching it later, to catch any of the action, then yeah, you know, drop their name in the bottom, share it with any groups that you may have, fellow F1 fans. It'd be great to hear from you. You're welcome. 50, I can't really read because I'm moving. 50. Have a safe journey. Cheers, bud. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mr. MR2. Take it you're driving MR2. Nice little car. And yeah, we'll try and do some more vlogging. Any other events we go to. Try and get to some boxing events this year. And I'll try to do some more vlogging. Normally get way too smashed at the boxing though. So I'll try not to next time. The Dylan White and who's Dylan White Chizurov.
You were a different person.
Wow. Steaming is not the word. Steaming is not the word. Yeah, we'll try to do something else. But yeah, tomorrow we'll get another video out. Keep them quite short and sweet. We'll just compare cars into turn one. Around a bit more of the technical sectors, just so you can see. So just see some differences in the cars. Maybe the two different drivers, like Lewis, Bottas, etc. And also we'll try and just do some pure sounds, just so you can listen to the sweet sound of the engines. That might be better. No? The wheel guns going off. Mike Ross, I'll confirm that, thank you. Sorry, clicked on something else. Do not crying, Richard. Do not crying. Yes, checkered flag. Yeah, just gonna walk across here. Thank you, Kerry. You're still here. You're still here. Oh, keeping up the appearances, I see. Oh no, we can't get around there, can we?
No,
Okay. Gonna head out the circuit now. Drive through the rush hour Barcelona traffic.
on the other side of
Driving
the
on the wrong side of the road.
right side for me.
Technically the right hand side, but the wrong side. Of course, got to support my one and only brother. Appreciate it. Did Kevin get to watch anything? Hopefully Williams will make an appearance tomorrow. I'd be really interested to see any on-track action from them. You could do with a GoPed back to the car. You could. What a lot of people done at Silverstone, which I thought was a fantastic idea, is they took their push bikes with them. Yes, he'll be watching, but he is too stupid to be able to comment. Oh, so he is watching. big shout out to Kevin Wortley. Hello. This is Laura. You might not have seen her before. My lovely other half. So quiet now. About the F1 cars. Someone's ringing me. From Sheffield. You're not gonna answer that. I'll just show you what's in and around the track. There's not much around here, so if you are coming to this week's or next week's test, I remember some of you saying you'll be coming to next week's test, do bring a packed lunch, bring plenty of water and stuff, because the only place that you can get anything is behind the main grandstand. Yeah, don't forget to bring your sarnies. We brought loads of croissant with us and stuff like that to keep us going, keep us a bit more happy. Bring your sun cream as well. I know it's February, but the sun is still strong. Yes, my neck is a bit burnt. Feeling a bit better now. I had a moisturiser mask last night.
Yeah.
From yours truly, over here. So that really helped us a lot. There's some nice artwork over here. I don't know if you saw it this morning. And look, we've got Shumi and his lovely Ferrari car. Try and get a bit closer to that. It's a beautiful artwork. So this part is behind the start-finish straight and the main grandstand, just here. Here's a beautiful, done by Axe Colours. Shout out to them. Legend, the biggest winner in F1. Look at that. I love it. Stay strong, keep fighting, Michael. Keep fighting. So yeah, this is behind the main start finish straight, and you just got a few stands here. They've got an F1 simulator here. It's an Italian track, I forget the name of it. It's not Monza or Mugello. You've got a few merchandise stands. Some good prices here. They've got some of the old merchandise. Got all the hats here. You've got them old Malaysian one. Got the Austin one. Lewis Hamilton hats. Got kids t-shirts. Got a special. No, it wasn't Imola either, mate. No. It was one of the tracks that Ferrari used for testing. You've got Catalunya Test Day stuff here. Exclusive Test Day stuff. 2019. And this is the only sort of food outlet you've got here. It's just a little burger joint. If you're vegetarian, definitely bring food with you. And you need to stock up here or at the supermarket and then make your way around the track. Because all you've got is toilets around the track, nothing else at all. Not even an ice cream stand or anything. Obviously, if it was a race day, there'd be everything and everything everywhere coming out your ears. And we also got another little nice placard over here, which I'll just show you. So it looks like it's not racers. I don't know whose names they are. Over there, you've got like a little electric go-kart track. It's also got 2-seaters, so if you've got any kids, you can give them a ride as well. And yeah, we're just going to head on the tunnel on the way out the circuit now. Go jump in our little Corsa. Not mine, hire car. Drive a Lexus now. Final thoughts of the day, Laura?
It was nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, stop.
Interesting.
Toast to my face.
Interesting. Would you come next year?
Yeah.
Or would you stay at home? You come?
Yeah, I like the city. I like the weather.
Yeah?
So it's nice.
What if it's cold next year?
It's fine. I don't mind.
If it's raining?
That's fine.
You stay in the hotel?
No. I'm taking an umbrella.
Take an umbrella. Yeah. Get a poncho. So you got the race this year, 10th to the 12th of May. Definitely a good recommendation, this track. Multiple vantage points throughout the circuit, where you can see like more than one part of the circuit, is what I mean. So you get a good viewing point.
I like it more than Silverstone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Silverstone is a bit of a pain to get in and around. But then again, we didn't go on like a sort of test day, so we went on a race day when there's 100,000 people there, and it's a bit of a nightmare. Very crowded. I'm pretty sure this would be the same. You probably have to park miles away from the circuit and probably pay extortionate fees in order just to park or to camp around here. If you come into the test though, Montemillo will be a bit more expensive. Looking forward to the edits. Cheers, Rory. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll try and get the edits out. Start editing today. It's going to take some time to get those out. Main access. So yeah, definitely we'll try and do next year the paddock just for one day. It's going to cost about 300 quid, but it's better than 3,000 at the likes of Silverstone. Get some behind the scenes, look at the motorhomes. They won't have the full kit and caboodle here, but nevertheless, we'll be able to be hopefully bumping into the likes of Toto, Paddy, if you ever turned up. And you never know, some of the drivers, reserve drivers, engineers, and the rest of it. So we're gonna go now because we're almost at the car. Thanks for watching, guys. Big thumbs up to all of you. Thanks to Razvan. Thanks to Warren. BJ, you've been really good. Captain Bleeding Obvious, can't forget you as well. Do the full week at Silverstone. Well worth it. I'll just be doing the Friday, Saturday, Sunday there. We're going to go camp up there. We like to stay in Hamilton Fields. It's probably about half an hour walk to the track.
It's a long walk.
Yeah. I'll probably just do Cheerios. Thank you, Carl. Thanks for tuning in. See you later, alligators.